The plate slipped from Sky's hands. She watched it fall, her heart stopping before it even hit the floor. The crash was loud. Too loud. Every person in the dining room turned to look. Sky was 12 years old. Small for her age. Her hands were wet from carrying dishes, and now pieces of broken plate were scattered around her feet. "I'm sorry," she whispered. "I'm so sorry." Evelyn Vance stood up from the dinner table. She was wearing a red dress that cost more than Sky's mother made in a year. Her face was calm, but her eyes were fire. "You stupid girl." The slap came fast. Sky's head jerked to the side. Pain exploded across her cheek. She stumbled backward and almost fell. "Mama!" Sky cried out. Her mother, Miriam, was standing by the kitchen door. She took one step forward, then stopped. Her eyes met Evelyn's. Evelyn shook her head slightly. A warning. Miriam stayed frozen. 20 dinner guests sat at the table. None of them said a word. They looked down at their plates and pretended nothing was happening. Evelyn grabbed Sky's arm hard. Her nails dug into the girl's skin. "Do you know how much that plate cost? More than your mother makes in 6 months. You and your mother are nothing but..." "Enough." One word. Cold and sharp. Everyone turned toward the doorway. Adrian Vance stood there. He was tall, wearing an expensive gray suit. His hands were in his pockets. His face looked calm, but something dangerous was in his eyes. Evelyn's smile froze on her face. "Adrian, sweetheart, I was just teaching the girl to be more careful. I said enough." His voice was quiet but hard as stone. "Let her go." Evelyn let go of Sky's arm. She straightened her dress and turned to face her husband with a fake smile. Then she saw where he was standing. He wasn't just passing by. He was standing exactly where he could see everything. The broken plate. The slap. All of it. He had been watching the whole time. Evelyn's smile dropped for just a second. But that second was enough. Adrian looked at Sky, still shaking on the floor. Then he looked back at his wife. "We need to talk," he said. "Tonight." He walked away without another word. Hey everyone, welcome back to Top Story. If you're new here, you just walked into something special. This channel? We tell stories that hit different. Stories about real courage. Real sacrifice. Real people who did the impossible when the world said they couldn't. And to my subscribers? My day ones? Thank you. Seriously. You show up every single week. You comment. You share. You make this channel what it is. I don't take that for granted. If you are new here, subscribe to our channel and let us know where you are watching from in the comment section. Before we dive in, let me say a quick prayer for all of you watching right now. May God bless you wherever you are. May He protect your family, your health, and your future. May He open doors that no man can shut and give you strength for whatever battles you're facing today. May His favor follow you, His peace guard your heart, and His grace cover every mistake. In Jesus' name, type Amen in the comments section. May God answer our prayers. Alright. Now let's get into this story. Because what you're about to hear? It's going to change the way you see kindness, betrayal, and revenge forever. Evelyn stood there, surrounded by silent guests and broken pieces. She could never fix it. The guests left fast. Nobody wanted to stay. Nobody wanted to be there when Adrian Vance finally lost his temper. Evelyn stood alone in the hallway. She looked at herself in the big mirror on the wall. Her hair was perfect. Her makeup was perfect. Everything looked perfect. But her hands were shaking. She heard footsteps coming down the stairs. Adrian walked slowly. No rushing. No yelling. That made it scarier. Adrian, let me explain. No. He stopped on the stairs, looking down at her. I don't want to hear it. She broke a $5,000 plate. Then I'll buy 10 more. His voice was ice cold. That's not the point. Evelyn's face went red. You're taking her side? That little girl who can't even hold a plate properly? She's a child, Evelyn. A 12-year-old child. She needs to learn. What she needs, Adrian said, coming down the last steps, is for you to keep your hands off her. They were standing close now. Close enough that Evelyn could see the anger in his gray eyes. She should have apologized. Should have backed down. Should have played the good wife. But she didn't. Instead, she smiled. A cold, mean smile. You've been saying that since the first day she walked in. Adrian went completely still. What? The first day Miriam brought that girl to this house. Evelyn's voice dropped to a whisper. You've been watching her. Protecting her. Like she's special somehow. You're out of your mind. Am I? Evelyn stepped closer. You barely look at Luca. Your own son. But that maid's daughter? You can't take your eyes off her. The words hung in the air like smoke. Adrian's jaw clenched. His hands balled into fists. For a moment, Evelyn thought he might actually hit her. Part of her almost wanted him to. But he didn't. He turned and walked toward his office. Sleep somewhere else tonight, he said without looking back. I don't want to see you. The office door slammed shut. Evelyn stood alone in the empty hallway. But she was still smiling. Because she knew something. Something Adrian had been hiding for 12 years. Something about that little girl with the broken plate. And one day soon, everyone else would know it too. 3 days passed. Adrian barely came home. Evelyn smiled at breakfast like nothing happened. And Sky tried to stay invisible. Her cheek still hurt where Evelyn had hit her. The bruise was fading, but the fear wasn't. On Thursday morning, Evelyn left for a charity lunch. The house was quiet. Too quiet. Sky's mother sent her upstairs to clean Adrian's office. Be careful, Miriam whispered. Don't touch anything important. Sky nodded and climbed the stairs with her cleaning supplies. The office was huge. Dark wooden desk. Leather chairs. Shelves filled with books nobody ever read. Everything smelled like expensive cologne and old paper. Sky started dusting the shelves. She moved slowly, carefully. One wrong move and she'd break something else. That's when she saw it. Behind a thick law book, hidden on the top shelf, was a small silver frame. Sky stood on her toes. Her fingers barely reached it. She pulled it down carefully. It was a photograph. A man holding a baby. The baby was wrapped in a pink blanket, maybe a few months old. The man was younger, but Sky recognized him immediately. Adrian Vance. But it was the woman in the background that made Sky's heart stop. She was younger. Her hair was longer. But those eyes. Sky knew those eyes. It was her mother. Miriam was in the photograph. Smiling. Happy. Standing in this same house 12 years ago. Sky's hands started shaking. Why would Adrian have a photo of her mother? Why was it hidden? The front door slammed downstairs. Sky's blood went cold. Evelyn's voice echoed through the house. I forgot my purse. I'll only be a minute. Footsteps on the stairs. Coming fast. Sky shoved the photo frame inside her apron pocket. She grabbed her dust cloth and started cleaning the desk, trying to look normal. Trying to breathe. The office door opened. Evelyn stood there in her white designer dress. Her eyes went straight to the bookshelf. To the empty space where the photo had been. Her face changed. Went pale. Then red. Then ice cold. "What are you doing in here?" Evelyn asked slowly. "Cleaning, ma'am. My mama told me to." "Where is it?" Sky's stomach dropped. "Where's what, ma'am?" Evelyn walked into the room. Closed the door behind her. The click of the lock was the scariest sound Sky had ever heard. "Don't play stupid with me, little girl." Evelyn's voice was shaking now. Not with anger. With something else. Something worse. Fear. "Where is the photograph?" Sky lied. She looked Evelyn straight in the eyes and said, "I didn't see any photograph, ma'am." Evelyn stared at her for 10 long seconds. Then she searched the entire office. She checked under the desk. Behind the curtains. Inside the trash can. But the photo was pressed flat against Sky's stomach, hidden in her apron pocket. After 20 minutes, Evelyn gave up. She left without another word. But the look she gave Sky before walking out said everything. This wasn't over. That afternoon, Sky ran to the garden. Her secret place. Behind the old fig tree where nobody ever came. Except Luca. Luca Vance was 15. Tall like his father. But his eyes were kind, not cold. He spent most of his time avoiding his mother and reading books under the fig tree. He looked up when Sky came running. Her face was wet with tears. "Hey, what happened?" Luca put down his book. Sky couldn't speak. She just pulled out the photograph and handed it to him. Luca looked at it. His eyes went wide. "This is my dad," he whispered. "And that baby, and that woman is my mama," Sky finished. "Why does your father have a picture of my mama? Why was it hidden?" Luca was quiet for a long time. He looked at the photo, then at Sky, then back at the photo. "How old are you, Sky?" 12. Almost 13. And this baby looks a few months old. Luca did the math in his head. His face went pale. "Sky, I think. She hates me," Sky said quietly. "Your mother. She's always hated me. From the first day I came here." "It's not hate," Luca said, still staring at the photo. "It's something else." "What?" Luca looked at her. Really looked at her. Her dark curly hair. Her gray eyes. Gray eyes that looked exactly like his father's. "She doesn't hate you, Sky." His voice was barely a whisper. "She's afraid of you." "Afraid? Of me? Why?" Before Luca could answer, he looked up at the mansion. His face went white. Sky turned to look. There, standing at the second-floor window, was Evelyn. She was holding a phone to her ear. Staring directly at them. Watching. And then Sky saw it. Evelyn smiled. A slow, cold smile. She lifted the phone higher so they could see it clearly. She was taking pictures of them. Pictures of Sky holding the photograph. Luca grabbed Sky's hand. "We need to hide this. Right now." But it was too late. Evelyn had already made a phone call. And somewhere in the city, someone answered. Someone who could make people disappear. Friday night. Another dinner party. Adrian invited his business partners. 10 men in expensive suits who talked about money and power like it was a game. Evelyn played the perfect wife. Smiling. Laughing. Pouring wine. But her eyes kept finding Sky across the room. Sky was helping serve dessert. Her hands were steady this time. She wouldn't drop anything. Not tonight. Not ever again. Miriam stood near the kitchen door, watching. She could feel something bad coming. Like thunder before a storm. Everything was fine until the wine. One of the guests, Mr. Chen, raised his glass. To Adrian Vance, the man who built an empire from nothing. Everyone raised their glasses. Except Adrian. He was staring at his phone. At a message that just came in. His face went hard. Evelyn saw it. Darling? Is everything okay? Adrian looked up. Looked at his wife. Then at Sky. Then back at his wife. We need to talk, he said. After dinner. Of course. Evelyn's smile didn't move. But her hand gripped her wine glass tighter. That's when it happened. Sky walked past the table, carrying empty plates. Her foot caught on the carpet. She didn't fall. Didn't drop anything. But she bumped the table. Just slightly. Evelyn's wine glass tipped over. Red wine spilled across the white tablecloth. Across Evelyn's white dress. Across everything. The room went silent. You clumsy little, Evelyn stood up fast. Too fast. Her chair fell backward. I'm sorry. Sky's voice cracked. I didn't mean to. You never mean to. Evelyn's voice was shaking now. Getting louder. Every single time, you destroy something. Every single day you're in this house, you ruin everything. The guests looked uncomfortable. Some stared at their plates. Others checked their phones. Evelyn. Adrian's voice was quiet. Dangerous. Sit down. No. She turned on him. I'm tired of pretending. Tired of this girl walking around my house like she belongs here. Like she's family. The word hung in the air. Family. Miriam gasped. She took a step forward, then stopped. Adrian stood up slowly. That's enough. Is it? Evelyn laughed, but it wasn't a happy sound. Tell me, Adrian. Tell everyone here. Why do you protect her so much? What makes her so special? Adrian's jaw clenched. We're not doing this here. Why not? Are you afraid they'll find out? Evelyn. Are you afraid they'll know the truth? The guests started standing up. Making excuses. Suddenly everyone remembered somewhere else they needed to be. In 5 minutes, the dining room was empty. Except for Adrian, Evelyn, Miriam, and Sky. Adrian pulled out his phone. Dialed a number. Put it on speaker. It rang 3 times. Then a voice answered. Old. Tired. Familiar. Adrian? It's late. What's wrong? It was Miriam's mother. Sky's grandmother. Adrian's voice was ice cold. Why didn't you tell me? Silence on the other end. Then a sound. Something hitting the floor. The phone. And a voice in the background, barely a whisper. He knows. Dear God, he finally knows. Wait, did Adrian just discover the truth about Sky? If you're as shocked as I am right now, smash that subscribe button because this story is about to get intense. Drop a comment telling me, do you think Evelyn knew all along? Let's discuss below while we find out what happens next. The next morning was Saturday. Adrian left the house before sunrise. Nobody knew where he went. He didn't answer his phone. Evelyn was in her room. The door was locked. Music played loud enough to shake the walls. Miriam worked in silence. Her eyes were red. She hadn't slept. And Sky tried to stay invisible. Again. But Luca had other plans. He found Sky in the laundry room, folding sheets. Her hands were shaking. "Come on," Luca said. "I can't. I have work to." "I don't care. Come on." He grabbed her hand and pulled her toward the kitchen. Sat her down at the small table where the staff usually ate. The one in the corner where family never sat. Then he opened the fridge and started making breakfast. Eggs. Toast. Orange juice. "Luca, what are you doing?" Sky whispered. "If your mother sees." "Let her see." He cracked eggs into a pan. "I'm making breakfast for my sister." The word hit like lightning. Sister. Sky's throat closed up. "Don't say that. Don't say things that aren't true." "Why? Because it scares you?" Luca flipped the eggs. "Or because you already know it's true?" Sky didn't answer. Luca put the plate in front of her. Scrambled eggs. Perfectly golden toast. He sat across from her with his own plate. "Eat," he said. They ate in silence. The morning sun came through the window. For 5 minutes, everything felt normal. Safe. Then the door opened. Evelyn stood there in her silk robe. Her hair was messy. Her eyes were wild. She stared at them. At Luca sitting with Sky. Eating breakfast. Like equals. "What do you think you're doing?" Her voice was low. Deadly. "Making breakfast." Luca didn't look up. Just kept eating. "Get away from her." "No." Evelyn walked closer. "I said get away from that girl." "And I said no." Luca looked up now. Stared his mother straight in the eyes. Evelyn's hand flew up. The slap cracked across Luca's face hard enough to snap his head sideways. Sky screamed. But Luca didn't cry. Didn't move. Just slowly turned his head back to face his mother. His cheek was bright red. But his eyes were colder than she'd ever seen. "If you ever touch her again," Luca's voice was quiet but sharp as broken glass, "I'll tell Dad everything." "Everything?" Evelyn laughed, but it sounded broken. "What could you possibly know?" "I know why you hate her." Luca stood up. He was taller than his mother now. "I know what you did 13 years ago. The private investigator you hired. The phone calls you made. The threats." Evelyn's face went white. "You're lying." "Am I?" Luca pulled out his phone. Showed her the screen. "I found your old laptop in the attic. Funny what people forget to delete." Evelyn stared at the phone. At the old emails. The detective reports. The proof of everything she'd buried. "You wouldn't dare. Try me." They stood there. Mother and son. Staring each other down. Then Evelyn smiled. A cold, terrible smile. "Then I'll make sure there's nothing left to tell." She walked out. Luca's phone buzzed. A message from an unknown number. Just 4 words. "Your father's in danger." Adrian didn't come home that night. Or the next night. His assistant called. "Mr. Vance is staying at the downtown office. Working on the merger. He'll be back when he's ready." But that wasn't the truth. Adrian was hiding. His penthouse office had floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city. Normally, he loved this view. The lights. The power. The proof that he'd made it. Tonight, he saw nothing. He kept staring at his phone. At the DNA test results he'd ordered 3 days ago. The numbers didn't lie. Probability of paternity, 99.97%. Sky was his daughter. He had a daughter he never knew about. A daughter who'd been living in his house for 3 years, cleaning his floors, serving his food, getting hit by his wife. His wife. Adrian poured another glass of whiskey. His third tonight. Or maybe his fourth. He'd lost count. How did Evelyn know? She must have known from the beginning. That's why she hated Sky. That's why she made Miriam work the worst shifts. That's why she smiled every time she humiliated them. She knew. And she never said a word. His phone rang. Miriam's number. Adrian stared at it. Let it ring 5 times before answering. Hello. Mr. Vance. Miriam's voice was shaking. We need to talk. About Sky. About what happened 13 years ago. I know what happened. Silence. You know? I had a DNA test done. Without telling anyone. Adrian's voice was flat. Empty. I've known for 3 days. Then why haven't you said anything? Good question. Why hadn't he said anything? Why was he hiding in his office instead of going home and demanding answers? Because he was afraid. Adrian Vance, the man who'd faced down corporate sharks and Wall Street predators, was afraid of a 12-year-old girl. Afraid of what it meant. Afraid of what he'd missed. Afraid of looking into her eyes and seeing his own failure staring back. I didn't know, Miriam whispered. When I found out I was pregnant, you were already married to Evelyn. The wedding was 3 months earlier. I saw the pictures in the magazines. You looked happy. I wasn't. I know that now. But back then. Miriam's voice cracked. I thought I was doing the right thing. Staying quiet. Raising her alone. Getting a job in your house so she could at least see her father, even if she didn't know it. You should have told me. I tried. Adrian sat up. What? I wrote you a letter. 2 years ago. I put it on your desk in the office. A white envelope with your name on it. I told you everything. Adrian's blood went cold. I never got a letter. I left it right there on your desk. I saw it with my own eyes. They both went quiet. Then they both realized the same thing at the same time. Evelyn. She'd found the letter first. Adrian's hand tightened around his phone. Where is Sky right now? In her room. Why? Lock the door. Don't let her out. Don't let anyone in. Mr. Vance, you're scaring me. Evelyn knows I know. And when Evelyn feels trapped. Adrian was already grabbing his keys, running for the elevator. She does something crazy. He hung up. The elevator ride down felt like forever. He called his driver. Get the car. Now. But when Adrian ran outside, his car was already there. The engine was running. And Evelyn was sitting in the driver's seat, smiling. Going somewhere, darling? Get out of my car, Evelyn. It's our car, darling. Remember? What's mine is yours, what's yours is mine. Evelyn's smile was ice cold. Isn't that what you said at our wedding? Adrian walked closer. I'm not playing games tonight. Neither am I. She turned off the engine. Stepped out slowly. I know where you've been. What you've been doing. The DNA test. Very sneaky, Adrian. Very smart. You knew. All this time, you knew she was mine. Of course I knew. Evelyn laughed, but it was a broken sound. I'm not stupid. That girl has your eyes. Your nose. Your stubborn chin. The first time Miriam brought her to this house, I saw it immediately. Then why didn't you say anything? Because I was hoping you'd never figure it out. Evelyn's voice dropped. I was hoping that if I made her small enough, invisible enough, you'd never look at her long enough to see the truth. Adrian's fists clenched. You've been torturing a child for 3 years because of something I did? Something we both did. Evelyn stepped closer. You cheated on me. We weren't married yet. We were engaged. The wedding was planned. My dress was bought. And you slept with the help. I didn't know Miriam worked for my family. We met at a coffee shop. We dated for 2 months. It ended before I even knew. Liar. Evelyn's voice cut like a knife. You knew exactly who she was. Your mother hired her. You saw her at the house. And you couldn't help yourself. Adrian went quiet. Because she was right. He had known. Not at first, but eventually. And he'd kept seeing Miriam anyway because she made him feel something Evelyn never did. Real. That's what I thought. Evelyn turned to walk away. You're not the saint you think you are, Adrian. You're just a man who got caught. She walked toward the building entrance. Then stopped. Turned around. By the way, I left something at the house for you. A present. What kind of present? Evelyn hummed a song. Soft. Sad. A lullaby. Then she disappeared into the building. Adrian stood there, that melody echoing in his head. He knew that song. His grandmother used to sing it to him when he was young. How did Evelyn know it? His phone rang. Miriam. Panic in her voice. Mr. Vance. Something's wrong with Sky. She's humming a song and she won't stop and she doesn't know where she learned it. Anne. What song? Miriam held the phone toward Sky's room. Adrian heard it. The same lullaby. The exact same melody Evelyn had just hummed. His grandmother's song. The one only family knew. How does she know that song? Miriam whispered. Adrian's mind raced. Sky had never met his grandmother. She died before Sky was born. Nobody in the house sang that song anymore. Nobody except. His blood froze. Miriam. Check Sky's room. Check everything. Look for anything that doesn't belong. He heard Miriam moving. Opening drawers. Looking under the bed. Then a gasp. There's a music box. Hidden behind her dresser. It's playing the song. Destroy it. Right now. Why? What's wrong with? That music box belonged to my grandmother. It's been missing for 10 years. Adrian's voice shook. Evelyn stole it after the funeral. She blamed Miriam's mother for losing it. Got her fired. Silence. Why would she put it in Sky's room? Adrian closed his eyes. Because Evelyn was building a story. Planting evidence. Making it look like Miriam and Sky were thieves. Giving Adrian a reason to throw them out. Or worse. Lock the doors, Adrian said. I'm coming home. He ran for his backup car. But when he got to the parking garage, all 4 tires were slashed. And written on the windshield in red lipstick were 5 words. You can't save them all. Adrian took a taxi home. 45 minutes in traffic. 45 minutes of his mind racing. 45 minutes too long. By the time he got there, it was too late. The house was empty. Miriam. Adrian ran through every room. Sky. Nothing. His phone buzzed. A text from Evelyn. City Grand Hotel. Charity event. Your presence is required. I took the girls with me. Don't worry. They're safe. Adrian's hands shook. She took them. Evelyn took them to a public place where he couldn't make a scene. Where he couldn't do anything without cameras watching. He changed into a suit and drove to the hotel. The city grand was packed. Rich people in expensive clothes, drinking champagne and pretending to care about whatever cause was trending this week. Adrian pushed through the crowd. Then he saw them. Evelyn stood near the stage, smiling for cameras. She wore a gold dress that sparkled under the lights. Her arm was around a young girl in a simple blue dress. Sky. She looked terrified. Frozen. Like a deer in headlights. Miriam stood 3 feet away, wearing her maid uniform. Her face was pale. Mr. Vance. A reporter rushed over with a camera. We didn't expect you tonight. And who's this beautiful young lady with your wife? Adrian's mouth went dry. Evelyn's smile got wider. She pulled Sky closer. This is Sky, Evelyn said sweetly. Isn't she precious? We've been sponsoring her education through our charity foundation. Lies. All lies. But the cameras loved it. Flash. 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 Sky, how does it feel to have Mrs. Vance as your mentor? Another reporter asked. Sky looked at Evelyn. Then at her mother. Then at Adrian. Her eyes were begging. Begging for help. Begging for this to stop. It's wonderful, Sky whispered. Speak up, dear. Evelyn's hand gripped Sky's shoulder. Hard. Tell them how grateful you are. Adrian started walking toward them. But 2 more reporters blocked his path. Mr. Vance. Is it true you're donating $5 million to inner-city schools? Mr. Vance. Can we get a family photo? Family photo. The reporter gestured for Adrian to join Evelyn and Sky. The 3 of them together. Like a real family. Adrian looked at Evelyn. She was still smiling. But her eyes said everything. Try it. Say something. Tell them the truth. See what happens. Adrian looked at Sky. At the bruise on her shoulder where Evelyn's nails were digging in. He had 2 choices. Make a scene. Tell everyone the truth. Risk Evelyn doing something worse. Or play along. Protect Sky for now. Wait for the right moment. Adrian stepped forward. Put his arm around Evelyn. His other hand gently moved Evelyn's grip off Sky's shoulder and held the girl's hand instead. Smile, Adrian whispered to Sky. Just smile. I've got you. The cameras flashed. 20 pictures. 30. 50. The Vance family. Perfect. Beautiful. Charitable. That night, the photos went viral. Every news site. Every social media platform. Every gossip blog. Billionaire Adrian Vance and wife Evelyn sponsor underprivileged youth. The Vance family's hidden daughter? Who is the mysterious girl in the blue dress? By midnight, the photo had 10 million views. By morning, everyone in the country knew Sky's face. And Evelyn's plan was complete. Because now, if anything happened to Sky, the whole world would be watching. Adrian couldn't protect her in private anymore. Everything had to be public now. Which meant Evelyn could do whatever she wanted, as long as the cameras weren't rolling. Adrian sat in his office at 3 in the morning, staring at the viral photo. His phone rang. Unknown number. Hello? A distorted voice. Male. Angry. Stay away from that girl, Mr. Vance. Or your wife isn't the only person you'll have to worry about. Click. The line went dead. The next morning, Miriam couldn't take it anymore. She waited until Evelyn was in the garden. Alone. Drinking coffee and reading the news on her tablet. Reading the articles about Sky. Miriam walked straight up to her. We need to talk. Evelyn didn't look up. Do we? Leave my daughter alone. Now Evelyn looked up. She set down her tablet slowly. Your daughter? Is that what we're calling her? She's 12 years old. She's done nothing wrong. She exists. That's enough. Evelyn stood up. Do you know what it's like? Watching your husband stare at another woman's child? Seeing him protect her more than his own son? That's not Sky's fault. No. It's yours. Evelyn stepped closer. You could have stayed away. You could have raised her anywhere else in the world. But you came here. Got a job in this house. Made sure Adrian saw her every single day. I needed work. I'm a single mother with no college degree, Anne. And you wanted him to know. Evelyn's voice was ice. You wanted him to figure it out. To choose you. To leave me for the help and his secret daughter. That's not true. Isn't it? They stood there, two mothers, two women fighting over the same man in different ways. Miriam's voice dropped. I'm warning you, Evelyn. If you hurt my daughter again, I won't stay quiet anymore. I'll tell everyone everything. The abuse. The threats. The music box you planted. All of it. Evelyn laughed. And who would believe you? The maid who stole from the family? The woman who hid a child from her father for 12 years? You think you're the hero in this story? I think I'm a mother protecting her child. So am I. Evelyn's smile disappeared. Luca is my son. My only child. And I won't let some illegitimate girl take what belongs to him. Sky doesn't want anything from this family. Maybe not. But Adrian does. I see how he looks at her now. Like she's his second chance. His redemption. And where does that leave Luca? Where does that leave me? Miriam had no answer for that. Evelyn picked up her tablet. You have 24 hours to decide. Pack your things and leave this house quietly, or I'll make sure you leave in handcuffs. The music box. The missing jewelry. The cash from my drawer last month. I have evidence of everything. You planted that evidence. Prove it. Evelyn started walking toward the house. Then stopped. Turned around. Oh, and Miriam? I almost forgot. She pulled out her phone. Showed Miriam the screen. It was an email. To Child Protective Services. Already typed. Ready to send. Unfit mother. Child living in unsafe conditions. Working illegal hours. Exposing minor to hostile environment. Evelyn read it out loud. One click, and they take Sky away. Put her in foster care while they investigate. Could take months. Maybe years. Miriam's legs almost gave out. You wouldn't. Try me. Evelyn's finger hovered over the send button. 24 hours, Miriam. After that, I won't just destroy you. I'll take her from you completely. She walked inside. Miriam stood alone in the garden, shaking. Her phone buzzed. A text from Adrian. Where are you? We need to talk. But before Miriam could answer, another text came in. From Evelyn's assistant. Mrs. Vance has requested the guest room be prepared. Sky will be sleeping on the 3rd floor starting tonight. Closer to the family. Mrs. Vance's orders. Miriam read it 3 times. Closer to the family. Evelyn wasn't pushing Sky away anymore. She was pulling her closer. Keeping her where she could watch her every move. Miriam ran inside. Up the stairs. Found Sky packing her small bag. Mama, they said I have to move to a different room. A big one with its own bathroom, Anne. We're leaving, Miriam said. What? Tonight. We're leaving this house and never coming back. Sky's eyes filled with tears. But Mr. Vance said he'd protect us. He said. He can't protect us from her. Nobody can. A knock on the door. Both of them froze. The door opened. Evelyn stood there, smiling. 2 security guards behind her. Going somewhere? Behind her. Oh no. Evelyn just trapped them. If your heart is racing right now, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss what she does next. Comment below, Team Miriam or Team Evelyn. I need to know whose side you're on because things are about to get crazy. You can't keep us here, Miriam said. We're not prisoners. Of course not. Evelyn's smile didn't move. But it's late. And Sky has school tomorrow. And Mr. Vance specifically requested she stay in the guest room tonight. Are you going to deny his request? Miriam looked at the security guards. Big men. Blank faces. Just doing their jobs. She had no choice. Fine. One night. Wonderful. Evelyn turned to Sky. Come, dear. Let me show you your new room. Sky looked at her mother. Miriam nodded slowly. It's okay. Go. But it wasn't okay. Sky followed Evelyn up the stairs to the 3rd floor. The guest room was huge. King-sized bed. Flat-screen TV. A balcony overlooking the garden. Beautiful, isn't it? Evelyn touched the silk curtains. This used to be my room. Before I married Adrian. Before everything changed. She looked at Sky. Really looked at her. You have his eyes, you know. I hated that the most. Every time I see you, I see him. Mrs. Vance, I don't want to cause problems. Too late for that. Evelyn walked to the door. Sleep well, Sky. Tomorrow is a very important day. Why? What's tomorrow? Evelyn smiled. Luca's birthday. The door closed. Locked from the outside. Sky ran to it. Pulled the handle. Nothing. She was trapped. The next day was chaos. Decorations everywhere. Balloons. Banners. A cake the size of a table. Luca's 16th birthday party. 50 guests. Teenagers from his private school. Kids he barely knew but had to pretend to like. Luca hated every second of it. He kept looking for Sky. She was supposed to help set up, but he hadn't seen her all morning. At noon, he found out why. His mother had locked her in the guest room. For her own safety, Evelyn told the staff. She's not feeling well. Luca didn't believe that for a second. At 3 o'clock, when everyone was distracted with cake and games, Luca snuck upstairs. He knocked on the guest room door. Sky. You in there? Luca. Her voice was muffled. The door's locked. He tried the handle. Solid. Hold on. Luca ran to his room. Grabbed his emergency key set. The ones his dad gave him years ago. Just in case, Adrian had said. The third key worked. The door opened. Sky stood there, still in yesterday's clothes. Her eyes were red. She locked me in, Sky whispered. Your mom locked me in. I know. Come on. Where? It's my birthday. And I want to spend it with my sister. There was that word again. Sister. This time, Sky didn't argue. Luca snuck her down the back stairs. Through the kitchen. Out to the garden. To the old fig tree. Their secret place. He pulled out a paper lantern from his backpack. The kind you write wishes on and release into the sky. I was going to do this alone, Luca said. But it's better with you here. He handed her a marker. What do I write? Whatever you want. Whatever you wish for. Sky thought for a long time. Then wrote 3 words. A real family. Luca wrote on his side. Keep her safe. They lit the lantern together. Watched it rise into the evening sky. Higher and higher until it was just a tiny light among the stars. For 5 minutes, they were happy. For 5 minutes, everything was perfect. Then they heard the scream. Miriam's voice. From inside the house. Call 911. Somebody call 911. Luca and Sky ran inside. The guests were crowding around something on the floor. Someone on the floor. Luca pushed through the crowd. And saw Adrian. His father was lying on the marble floor. Not moving. His face was pale. His lips were blue. An empty glass lay next to him. Champagne spilled everywhere. Dad! Luca dropped to his knees. Dad! Adrian's eyes opened slightly. He looked at Luca. Then past him. At Sky. He tried to say something. His lips moved. Protect her. Then his eyes closed. The ambulance came. Paramedics rushed in. They worked on Adrian for 10 minutes before loading him onto a stretcher. Is he alive? Luca's voice cracked. Is my dad alive? Barely, the paramedic said. Looks like poison. Everyone turned. Looked at the empty champagne glass. Then looked at Evelyn. She stood at the top of the stairs, perfectly calm, watching them take Adrian away. And she was smiling. Adrian survived. Barely. The doctors pumped his stomach. Kept him in intensive care for 2 days. The police came. Asked questions. Tested the champagne glass. Poison. A rare kind. Expensive. Hard to trace. Who had access to Mr. Vance's drink, the detective asked. Everyone. The caterers. The staff. The guests. Family. No proof. No evidence. No arrest. Evelyn visited the hospital every day. Brought flowers. Held Adrian's hand while he slept. Cried for the cameras outside. Perfect wife. Perfect performance. On the 3rd day, Adrian woke up. Luca was there. So was Miriam. And Sky, hiding in the corner. Who did this to you? Luca asked. Dad, who tried to kill you? Adrian looked at his son. Then at the door. Making sure no one was listening. Your mother, he whispered. The room went silent. No. Luca shook his head. No, she wouldn't. She did. I know she did. But the police said there's no proof. They tested everything. They can't. She's too smart for proof. Adrian tried to sit up. Winced. She's been planning this for weeks. Maybe months. Miriam stepped forward. Mr. Vance, maybe you should rest. You almost died. Your mind might be. I'm not confused. Adrian's voice was hard. And I'm not paranoid. Evelyn tried to kill me. And if I die, everything goes to her. The house. The company. The money. All of it. What about Luca? Sky asked quietly. Everyone turned to look at her. I mean, Luca is your son. Doesn't he get everything? Adrian's face went dark. Not if Evelyn has her way. She controls his trust until he's 25. She controls everything. Luca's fists clenched. I don't care about the money. But she does. Adrian looked at Miriam. Take Sky and leave. Tonight. Go somewhere she can't find you. I can't just leave you. You have to. She failed to kill me. She won't fail twice. But Miriam shook her head. If we run, she wins. If we run, she gets to tell whatever story she wants. She'll say we stole from you. She'll say we poisoned you. She'll make us criminals. She was right. Adrian closed his eyes. Then we need proof. Something the police can't ignore. How? Luca asked. No one had an answer. Adrian came home 5 days later. Weak. Tired. But alive. Evelyn was waiting at the door with a smile. Welcome home, darling. She kissed his cheek. He didn't pull away. Didn't react. Just watched her. Studied her. That night, Evelyn cooked dinner herself. Say never cooked. Ever. They had 3 chefs for that. But tonight, she sent them home early. Told them she wanted to make her husband's favorite meal. To celebrate him coming home. She made rice. Perfectly white. Perfectly steamed. She made soup. Rich and dark and smelling like heaven. She served it on their finest plates. 2 plates. 1 big. 1 small. For you, she said, placing the big plate in front of Adrian. And this one is for me. Adrian stared at the food. You cooked this yourself? Every bit of it. Evelyn sat across from him. I know things have been difficult. But I want us to start over. To be a real family again. She picked up her fork. Started eating. Adrian watched her take 3 bites. 4. 5. Her food was fine. No reaction. He looked down at his plate. The rice looked normal. Smelled normal. But something felt wrong. Aren't you hungry? Evelyn asked sweetly. I'm still recovering. Doctor said to eat light. This is light. It's just rice and soup. Adrian pushed the plate away. Maybe later. Evelyn's smile tightened. I made it special for you. And I appreciate it. But I'm not hungry right now. They stared at each other across the table. Then footsteps on the stairs. Luca walked in, sweaty from basketball practice. Is there food? I'm starving. No, Adrian started. But Luca already saw the untouched plate. The big one. Full of rice and soup. You're not eating this? Luca grabbed it. Luca, wait. Too late. Luca took a huge bite. Then another. Shoveling food into his mouth like he hadn't eaten in days. Adrian's face went white. Evelyn's face went even whiter. Luca, stop. Adrian stood up. Stop eating. But Luca had already finished half the plate. He looked up. What? Why? Then his eyes went wide. His hands went to his throat. The plate crashed to the floor. And Luca collapsed. Luca. Adrian dropped to his knees. His son was on the floor, gasping for air. His lips were turning blue. Call 911. Adrian screamed. Now. Miriam ran for the phone. Evelyn just stood there. Frozen. Staring at her son. Her baby boy. The only person she'd ever truly loved. Dying on the kitchen floor. What did you do? Adrian's voice was shaking. What did you put in that food? Evelyn's mouth opened. Closed. No words came out. Luca's body started jerking. Convulsing. Foam appeared at the corners of his mouth. I can't believe Luca ate that poisoned food meant for Adrian. If you're on the edge of your seat right now, subscribe because you need to see if he survives this. Drop a comment with one word, survive or... I can't even say it. Let me know what you think happens next. Sky ran in. Saw Luca. Screamed. Do something. Sky grabbed Adrian's arm. Please. Save him. Adrian was trying. He tilted Luca's head back. Checked his airway. Started CPR. Come on, son. Come on. Breathe. Breathe. 30 compressions. 2 breaths. 30 compressions. 2 breaths. Luca's eyes rolled back. Where's the ambulance? Adrian yelled. 5 minutes away. Miriam called back. 5 minutes. That was too long. Way too long. Evelyn finally moved. She fell to her knees next to Luca. Grabbed his hand. Baby, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. It wasn't for you. It was for him. It was never supposed to be you. Adrian stopped CPR. Stared at her. You admit it. You poisoned the food. Evelyn was crying now. Real tears. Not the fake ones she cried for cameras. I had to. You were going to leave me. Take everything. Give it all to her. She looked at Sky with pure hatred. That girl was going to destroy our family. So you tried to kill me? I tried to save us. Evelyn's voice broke. But now I killed my own son. Luca's body went completely still. No breathing. No pulse. Adrian checked his neck. His wrist. Nothing. No. No, 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 no. Adrian started compressions again. Harder this time. Desperate. You don't get to die. You hear me, Luca? You don't get to leave like this. Sirens in the distance. Getting closer. Adrian kept going. Kept pushing on his son's chest. Kept breathing air into his lungs. He's gone, Evelyn whispered. He's gone and it's my fault. Shut up. Adrian roared. He's not gone. He's not gone. The ambulance pulled up. Paramedics rushed in with equipment. They pushed Adrian aside. Took over. Shock pads. Clear. Luca's body jumped. Nothing. Again. Clear. Nothing. A third time. Clear. A beep. Weak. Faint. But there. We got a pulse, the paramedic shouted. Barely there, but we got one. They loaded Luca onto the stretcher. Strapped an oxygen mask to his face. Started in 4. We need to move now, the lead paramedic said. He's critical. We might lose him on the way. They rushed him out. Adrian ran after them. I'm coming with you. Family only in the ambulance. I'm his father. They let him in. The ambulance doors closed. Miriam, Sky, and Evelyn stood in the driveway, watching the lights disappear down the street. Evelyn turned to go back inside. 2 police cars pulled up. 4 officers stepped out. Evelyn Vance? She stopped. Turned around slowly. Yes? You're under arrest for attempted murder. They pulled out handcuffs. Evelyn didn't fight. Didn't run. Just held out her wrists. How? She asked quietly. How did you know? One officer held up a phone. Anonymous tip. Someone sent us a video from your home security system. Shows you adding something to the food. Time stamped. Crystal clear. Evelyn looked up at the house. At the camera hidden in the kitchen corner. The one she forgot about. The one Adrian had installed 6 months ago. He knew. Somehow, he knew she'd try again. And he'd been waiting. Mrs. Vance, you have the right to remain silent. I want to confess, Evelyn interrupted. To everything. The poison in Adrian's champagne. The poison in tonight's food. All of it. The officers looked at each other. You're confessing? Yes. But I want something in return. Evelyn looked at Sky. I want 5 minutes alone with that girl. 5 minutes to explain. Then I'll tell you everything. Absolutely not. Please. Evelyn's voice cracked. My son is dying because of me. Let me fix one thing before I lose everything. The officers hesitated. Miriam stepped forward. No. Whatever you have to say to my daughter, you can say in front of me. Fine. Evelyn looked at both of them. At Sky's scared face and Miriam's protective stance. I tried to kill Adrian because 13 years ago, I did something terrible. And that girl, she pointed at Sky, is the proof. Sky's voice was tiny. What did you do? Evelyn smiled. Sad. Broken. I made sure your mother never told Adrian she was pregnant. The world stopped. Miriam's face went white. What? You heard me. Evelyn's voice was flat. Empty. I knew Miriam was pregnant before she did. I saw the pregnancy test in the bathroom. The one she threw away in the staff quarters. Miriam's legs shook. You were watching me? I was protecting what was mine. Evelyn looked at the officers. I hired a private investigator. Followed Miriam for weeks. Found out she was dating Adrian before our wedding. Found out she was pregnant. So you threatened her, one officer said, writing notes. No. I did something worse. Evelyn's smile was bitter. I told her Adrian didn't want the baby. Miriam gasped. You what? I wrote fake emails. From Adrian's account. I hacked into his laptop while he slept. Sent you messages saying he'd pay you to get rid of it. That he never loved you. That you were just a mistake. Tears poured down Miriam's face. Those emails. I thought he hated me. He never sent them. I did. Sky looked up at her mother. Mama, you never told Mr. Vance about me because of fake emails? They looked real, baby. They sounded like him. They said things only he would know. I thought. Miriam's voice broke. I thought he wanted nothing to do with us. Evelyn laughed. No joy in it. Just pain. And it worked. For 13 years, it worked. Miriam stayed quiet. Raised Sky alone. Adrian never knew he had a daughter. Until 3 years ago, the officer said. When Miriam started working here. I didn't know. Miriam shouted. I applied to 20 houses. I needed work. I didn't know this was his house until the first day. But you stayed, Evelyn said. You could have quit. But you stayed. Brought Sky here every week. Let her play in the garden where Adrian could see her. Because she deserved to know her father. Even if he didn't know her. And I deserved to keep my family. Evelyn's voice rose. I spent 13 years building this life. This perfect life. And you came back to destroy it. The officers stepped between them. That's enough. But Evelyn wasn't done. I tried everything to make you leave. I gave you the worst shifts. Made you clean the dirtiest rooms. Humiliated you in front of guests. But you stayed. You always stayed. Because Sky deserved better than I had, Miriam whispered. So I decided to take it all away. Evelyn's eyes went cold. If I couldn't make you leave, I'd make Adrian leave. Permanently. One officer grabbed Evelyn's arm. Okay, that's enough confessing for now. You can tell the rest at the station. They started walking her toward the police car. Evelyn stopped. Looked back at Sky one last time. I don't hate you because of what you are. I hate you because of what you represent. Proof that Adrian loved someone else more than me. Proof that I was never enough. Sky's voice was small. I never wanted to take anything from you. I know. Evelyn's eyes filled with tears. That's what makes it worse. You're innocent. And I tried to destroy you anyway. They put her in the police car. Just before the door closed, Evelyn shouted one more thing. Check the hospital. Call them now. Why? An officer asked. Because I left something there. Something that will save my son. Everyone froze. What did you leave? Miriam asked. Evelyn smiled through the car window. The antidote. In my purse. In the hospital waiting room. I made it myself. Just in case. The officer radioed the hospital immediately. Check the waiting room for a purse belonging to Evelyn Vance. Look for a vial. It might be the antidote for the poison. Static. Then a voice. Found it. We found a small bottle labeled antidote. Should we use it? The lead paramedic grabbed the radio. Test it first. Do not give it to the patient until we know what's in it. No time. Evelyn yelled. You have maybe 3 minutes before my son's organs shut down. Use it or he dies. Adrian's voice came through someone's phone. He must have called from the hospital. Do it. Give him the antidote. Silence on the line. 20 seconds. 30. 45. Then a voice. His vitals are improving. Heart rate stabilizing. He's breathing on his own. Everyone exhaled. Luca was alive. The police car drove away with Evelyn inside. She pressed her hand against the window. Not waving goodbye. Just watching her house disappear one last time. Miriam collapsed on the driveway. Sky caught her. It's over, Mama. It's finally over. But Miriam shook her head. No, baby. It's just beginning. The hospital room was cold and white. Luca lay in the bed, connected to machines that beeped and hummed. His face was pale. Too pale. Adrian sat beside him. He hadn't moved in 4 hours. Hadn't eaten. Hadn't slept. Just watched his son breathe. Miriam and Sky stood near the door. Quiet. Afraid to come closer. A doctor walked in. Young woman with tired eyes. Mr. Vance, we need to talk about your son's condition. Adrian looked up. He's alive. That's all that matters. For now, yes. But the poison damaged his kidneys. Badly. He needs a transplant. The words hit like a punch. A transplant? Adrian stood up. How long does he have? Days. Maybe a week. We put him on the transplant list, but... But what? His blood type is rare. AB negative. Only 2% of the population. Finding a match could take months. He doesn't have months. I know. The doctor's voice was gentle. That's why we're testing family members. You. His mother. Anyone with a blood connection. Adrian rolled up his sleeve immediately. Test me. They took his blood. Ran the tests. 20 minutes later, the doctor came back. Her face said everything before she even spoke. I'm sorry, Mr. Vance. You're type O positive. Not a match. Adrian's world tilted. What about his mother? Mrs. Vance is type A positive. Also not a match. Then test everyone. Every staff member. Every person who works for me. Someone has to match. Mr. Vance, AB negative is extremely rare. I don't care how rare it is. Find someone. The doctor looked at her clipboard. Then at Miriam. Then at Sky. There is one more person we could test. Everyone turned to look at Sky. The 12-year-old girl standing in the corner. Small. Scared. Invisible. No, Miriam said immediately. Absolutely not. Mrs. Santos, if there's even a chance. She's a child. I'm aware. But if she's a match, she could save his life. Adrian looked at Sky. Really looked at her for the first time since arriving at the hospital. His daughter. The one he never knew. The one who'd been living in his house, cleaning his floors, getting hit by his wife. We can't ask that of her, Adrian said quietly. I'll do it. Sky's voice was small but steady. Everyone stared. Sky, no, Miriam started. He saved me, Mama. At the party when Mrs. Vance was hurting me. He stood up to his own mother. Now it's my turn. Baby, you don't understand what you're saying. I understand. Sky walked toward the doctor. Test me. They took her blood. The room was silent except for the machine's beeping. 10 minutes passed. 15. 20. The doctor came back. Her face was different now. Shocked. Confused. The results are unusual. Unusual how? Adrian asked. Sky is AB negative. A perfect match for Luca. Relief flooded the room. Miriam hugged her daughter. Adrian closed his eyes and whispered, "Thank God." But the doctor wasn't done talking. That's not the unusual part. She looked at Adrian. Then at Sky. Then back at Adrian. We ran additional tests. Standard procedure. And we found something. Found what? The doctor held up two charts. Side by side. Sky and Luca share more than a blood type. They share DNA markers. Significant ones. Adrian's heart stopped. What are you saying? I'm saying these two children have the same father. The room went completely silent. Miriam's hand covered her mouth. Adrian stared at Sky. At her gray eyes. His gray eyes. Run the test again, he whispered. We already ran it 3 times. The results are conclusive. The doctor's voice was gentle. Mr. Vance, Sky is your biological daughter. Adrian's legs gave out. He sat down hard in the chair. Luca, barely conscious on the bed, opened his eyes slightly. Dad? His voice was weak. Raspy. Adrian went to him. Grabbed his hand. I'm here, son. I'm right here. Sky, is she, my sister? Adrian looked at Sky. At the little girl who'd been invisible for so long. Who'd cleaned his house and stayed silent and never asked for anything. His daughter. Yes, Adrian's voice cracked. She's your sister. Luca smiled. Just barely. Good. I always wanted a sister. His eyes closed again. The doctor cleared her throat. Mr. Vance, we need to move quickly. Will Sky consent to the donation? Everyone looked at the 12-year-old girl. She looked at Luca, pale and dying in the hospital bed. Then at Adrian, her father who never knew she existed. Then at her mother, who'd sacrificed everything to raise her alone. "Yes," Sky said. "I'll do it." Miriam grabbed her shoulders. "Sky, this is major surgery. There are risks. You could." "I know, Mama." Sky's voice was calm. "Certain. But he's my brother. And he would do it for me." She was right. Luca had already proven it. He'd stood up to his mother. Defied her. Protected Sky when no one else would. Now it was Sky's turn. "When?" Adrian asked. "Tonight. We prep for surgery in 2 hours." The doctor left. Adrian walked over to Sky. Knelt down so they were eye level. "Thank you," he whispered. "For saving my son." "Our brother," Sky corrected. Adrian's eyes filled with tears. "Our brother." He pulled her into a hug. The first hug he'd ever given his daughter. And for the first time in 12 years, Sky felt like she belonged. Surgery prep was fast. Too fast. Sky changed into a hospital gown. They put an 4 in her small arm. Explained the procedure in words she barely understood. "You'll be asleep the whole time," the nurse said gently. "When you wake up, it'll be over." Sky nodded. Tried to look brave. But her hands were shaking. Miriam held one hand. Adrian held the other. "You don't have to do this," Miriam whispered for the 10th time. "We can wait for another donor." "We can." "Mama, he'll die." "But you're my baby. You're only 12. What if something goes wrong?" "Then I saved my brother." Sky squeezed her mother's hand. "That's enough." They wheeled her toward the operating room. Adrian walked beside the gurney. His face was a mess. Tears he wasn't bothering to hide anymore. "Sky." She looked up at him. "I'm sorry," he said. "For not knowing. For not protecting you. For 12 years of." "It's okay." "It's not okay." "Maybe not. But we're here now." Sky smiled. Small but real. That's what matters. The doors to the operating room opened. A nurse stopped Adrian. Only medical personnel passed this point. Adrian looked at his daughter one last time. "I'll be right here when you wake up. I promise." "I know." They took her inside. The doors closed. Adrian stood there, staring at white doors, feeling like his heart was being ripped out. Miriam stood beside him. They didn't speak. Just stood there. Two parents who'd failed in different ways. "She's stronger than both of us," Miriam finally said. "She gets that from you. And her stubbornness from you." They almost smiled. Almost. 2 hours into surgery, a commotion erupted in the waiting room. Shouting. Security guards. Police. Then Evelyn appeared. In handcuffs. 2 officers holding her arms. "What is she doing here?" Adrian's voice was ice. "She demanded to come," one officer said. "Wouldn't stop screaming until we brought her. Said she has a right to see her son. She poisoned her son." "I know, Mr. Vance. But legally, until she's convicted, she's still his mother." Evelyn looked terrible. No makeup. Hair messy. Still wearing the same clothes from yesterday. But her eyes were clear. Focused. "How is he?" she asked. "Like you care." "He's my son, Adrian. I've loved him since the moment he was born. I made a mistake." "A mistake?" Adrian's voice exploded. "You tried to kill him." I was trying to kill you. He wasn't supposed to eat that plate. He wasn't supposed to. Her voice broke. I never wanted to hurt Luca. Never. But you did. And now he's in surgery because of you. Evelyn's face crumbled. Is he going to die? Adrian turned away. We don't know yet. Who's the donor? Silence. Evelyn looked around. Saw Miriam standing there alone. Saw the empty space where Sky should be. Her face went white. No. Tell me it's not. Sky is saving your son's life right now, Miriam said quietly. The daughter you tried to destroy is giving her kidney to the son you tried to save. Evelyn's legs gave out. The officers caught her before she hit the floor. I didn't know, she whispered. I didn't know she was a match. I didn't know she'd. Tears poured down her face. That little girl is saving my baby? Yes. Evelyn sobbed. Real, ugly, broken sobs. I don't deserve this. Luca doesn't deserve this. We don't deserve her mercy. You're right, Adrian said coldly. You don't. The waiting room went silent. 3 hours passed. 4. 5. Then the operating room doors opened. 2 surgeons walked out. Exhausted but smiling. Both surgeries were successful, the lead surgeon announced. Luca's body accepted the kidney. Sky is stable. They're both in recovery. Everyone breathed again. Miriam collapsed into a chair, crying with relief. Adrian just stood there, unable to move. Can we see them? He finally asked. Luca is awake. Groggy, but awake. Sky is still under anesthesia. She'll wake up in about an hour. They let Adrian see Luca first. His son looked small in the hospital bed. Pale. Weak. But alive. Alive. Dad? Luca's voice was barely a whisper. I'm here. Adrian took his hand. Did it work? Is Sky okay? She's fine. You're both fine. She saved me. Tears ran down Luca's face. My sister saved me. Yes, she did. I want to see her. Soon. When you're both stronger. Dad? Luca's grip tightened. Don't let Mom near Sky. Ever. Promise me. Adrian looked at his son. At the fear in his eyes. The protective anger that matched his own. I promise. A nurse came in. Mr. Vance, there's a problem. Adrian's blood froze. What problem? Evelyn Vance. She collapsed. We think it might be her heart. We're running tests now. Adrian looked at Luca. Then at the door. Go, Luca said. She's still my mom. Whatever she did, she's still my mom. Adrian ran to the emergency room. Evelyn was on a gurney, doctors swarming around her. What happened? Adrian demanded. Panic attack. Severe. Her heart rate spiked. Blood pressure dropped. We stabilized her, but what? The doctor lowered his voice. Mr. Vance, your wife has been taking pills. A lot of pills. Anxiety medication. Sleeping pills. We found 5 different prescriptions in her system. For how long? Years, from the looks of it. Adrian stared at Evelyn. At his wife who'd tried to kill him. Who'd accidentally poisoned their son. Who'd been falling apart for years and no one noticed. Her eyes opened. Found his. I'm sorry, she whispered. For everything. I'm so sorry. Then her eyes closed again. Sky woke up to bright lights and beeping machines. Everything hurt. Her side. Her back. Her head. Mama? Her voice came out scratchy. Weak. I'm here, baby. I'm right here. Miriam's face appeared above her. Smiling through tears. Did it work? Is Luca? He's alive. You saved him. Sky closed her eyes. Smiled. Good. A nurse checked her vitals. You're a very brave girl, Sky. Not many people would do what you did. He's my brother, Sky said simply. Like that explained everything. And maybe it did. Can I see him? Sky tried to sit up. Pain shot through her side. She gasped. Not yet, sweetie. You both need to rest. The nurse adjusted her pillows. But soon. I promise. 2 days passed. Sky got stronger. Started walking with help. Ate real food. Smiled more. Luca improved faster. The new kidney was working. Color returned to his face. Strength to his body. But they hadn't seen each other yet. Different floors. Different recovery rooms. On the third day, a doctor made an exception. 5 minutes, she said. Will Sky's bed to Luca's room. But only 5 minutes. Both of you need rest. They rolled Sky down the hallway. Into the elevator. Up 3 floors. Luca's room was bigger. Flowers everywhere. Cards from classmates he barely knew. And Luca, sitting up in bed, looking stronger than he had in weeks. Sky. His face lit up. They positioned her bed next to his. For a moment, neither spoke. Just stared at each other. Brother and sister. Connected now by more than blood. Connected by sacrifice. You saved me, Luca said quietly. You saved me first. That's different. I just stood up to my mom. You gave me part of yourself. Sky shrugged. Winced at the pain. What are big sisters for? Luca laughed. Then winced too. Big sister? You're 3 years younger than me. But I have your kidney now. That makes me more mature. That doesn't make sense. Sure it does. A piece of me is keeping you alive. That means I'm technically older. Luca grinned. A real grin. The first one in days. You're weird. And you're alive. So we're even. They held hands. Across the gap between beds. Brother and sister. Finally together. The door opened. Adrian walked in carrying balloons and a stuffed animal. He stopped when he saw them. His 2 children. Side by side. How are my kids doing? My kids. Sky's eyes filled with tears. Luca squeezed her hand tighter. We're good, Dad, Luca said. We're really good. Adrian set down the gifts. Came closer. Looked at Sky. I got you something. He pulled out a small box. Opened it. Inside was a necklace. Simple silver chain with a pendant. The letter V. For Vance. I know it's not much, Adrian said. And I know I can't make up for 12 years in one moment. But I wanted you to have this. To know that you're part of this family. You always were. I just didn't know it. Sky touched the necklace with shaking fingers. It's beautiful. Adrian put it around her neck. His hands were gentle. Careful. Welcome to the family, Sky Vance. Did that just make you emotional? Because I'm not crying, you're crying. If this father-daughter moment hit you right in the feels, subscribe for more powerful stories like this. Comment below, what would you do if you were in Sky's position? Would you forgive? Would you donate your kidney? Let's talk about it. Sky Vance. She'd been Sky Santos her whole life. Her mother's last name. The name of someone who didn't belong. But now. Can I really use your name? She whispered. It's your name too. It always was. Luca pulled out his phone. We need a picture. Our first official family photo. Adrian helped Sky sit up a bit. Luca leaned closer. Adrian stood between their beds, one hand on each of them. A nurse took the photo. 3 faces. Smiling. Tired. Healing. A family. Not perfect. Not normal. But REA. Later that night, Sky woke up to whispering. 2 people in the hallway outside her room. Adrian and someone else. A woman. She needs to stay away from them, Adrian was saying. I don't care what her lawyer says. She doesn't get to see Luca or Sky. The judge granted supervised visitation, the woman replied. Must be a lawyer. 1 hour. Tomorrow. She has legal rights as Luca's mother. She tried to kill him. I know. But until she's convicted. Then we fight the conviction. We make sure she never gets out. Silence. Then the woman spoke again. Adrian, there's something you should know. About Evelyn's medical records. What about them? The hospital ran full tests. She has severe depression. Anxiety disorder. Possible early-stage bipolar. She's been self-medicating for years. Mixing prescriptions. Her psychiatrist said she was having a breakdown. That doesn't excuse what she did. No. But it explains it. The lawyer's voice was gentle. She was sick, Adrian. Really sick. And no one noticed. Adrian was quiet for a long time. That doesn't change anything. She stays away from my children. Both of them? Even Luca? Especially Luca. She almost killed him. I don't care if she was sick or not. She doesn't get to hurt them again. Footsteps walking away. Sky lay in the dark, staring at the ceiling. Mrs. Vance was sick. She'd been sick for years. And Sky. Sky actually felt sorry for her. Not forgiveness. Not yet. Maybe not ever. But something close to understanding. A soft knock on her door. Sky. You awake? Luca's voice. Yeah. Can't sleep. Me neither. His wheelchair appeared in the doorway. He rolled himself in. Parked next to her bed. I heard them talking, Luca said. About Mom. Me too. Does it change anything? Knowing she was sick. Sky thought about it. Really thought. No, she finally said. But maybe it means she can get help now. Real help. You're a better person than me, Luca said. I don't think I can forgive her. I didn't say forgive. I said help. Luca smiled in the dark. Big difference. Huge difference. They sat in comfortable silence. Then Luca spoke again. Thank you, Sky. For my life. Thank you for my family. Evelyn's cell was small. Gray walls. Metal bed. Toilet in the corner. She sat on the floor, back against the wall, staring at nothing. They'd given her food 3 times. She hadn't touched it. A guard came by every hour. You need to eat something, Mrs. Vance. She didn't respond. Just stared. On the 4th day, a lawyer visited. Expensive suit. Confident smile. Mrs. Vance, I'm here to help. We can fight this. Temporary insanity. Mental illness. We have options. Evelyn looked at him. Through him. I don't want options. But if you don't fight, you're looking at 20 years minimum. Attempted murder. Poisoning. This is serious. I know what it is. Then let me help you. No. Evelyn turned away. I did it. I admit it. I'm guilty. The lawyer tried 3 more times. Each time Evelyn refused. On the 5th day, they moved her to the medical wing. Depression watch. Suicide prevention. She didn't care. On the 6th day, a guard brought something different. Not food. Not medicine. An envelope. White. Small. No return address. Someone dropped this off for you, the guard said. We checked it. It's just a letter. Nothing dangerous. Evelyn stared at it. The guard put it on the bed and left. For an hour, Evelyn didn't touch it. Then, slowly, she picked it up. Opened it. One piece of paper. Handwriting. Messy. Young. Dear Mrs. Vance. The doctors say you're not eating. Mama says you're sick. Luca says you're sad. I don't know what to say to you. You hurt me. You tried to hurt Mr. Vance. You hurt Luca by accident. But Luca is alive now. Because of the kidney. Because you made the antidote. Because you saved him even though you hurt him first. I don't understand adults very much. You do bad things and good things at the same time. Mama says everyone has light and dark inside them. She says the hard part is choosing which one wins. I think you're dark one for a while. But your light saved Luca at the end. So maybe there's still light in you. I'm not saying I forgive you. I don't know if I can. But I don't hate you either. Luca says you're still his mom. He's confused and angry, but he still loves you. So please eat something. Please get better. Not for me. For him. Sky. Evelyn read it 3 times. Then a 4th. Her hands shook. Tears fell on the paper, smudging the ink. She's stronger than all of us, Evelyn whispered to the empty cell. She pressed the letter to her chest. Closed her eyes. And for the first time in 6 days, she cried. Real tears. Not angry tears or scared tears. Tears of shame. And maybe, just maybe, the smallest bit of hope. That night, Evelyn ate. Not much. Half a sandwich. Some water. But it was something. The next morning, she asked the guard for paper and a pen. She wrote 2 letters. The first was to Luca. 2 pages. Apologies and explanations and love. The second was to her lawyer. 1 sentence. I'm ready to face what I did. No deals. Full confession. I'll take whatever punishment they give me. She sealed both letters. Gave them to the guard. Then she lay on her bed and waited. For judgment. For justice. For whatever came next. Meanwhile, across the city, Adrian sat in his office. Papers spread across his desk. Legal documents. His lawyer sat across from him. Are you sure about this, Adrian? It's a big step. I've never been more sure of anything. Once you file this, there's no going back. Good. Adrian signed the first document. Then the second. Then the third. Official paternity recognition. Name change application. Trust fund establishment. All for Sky. She's my daughter, Adrian said. The world needs to know it. Legally. Officially. Permanently. The lawyer gathered the papers. I'll file these today. The press conference is scheduled for tomorrow. You ready for the media storm? Adrian smiled. Tired but real. Let them come. The press conference was scheduled for noon. Adrian's PR team prepared everything. Podium. Microphones. Chairs for reporters. They wanted to do it at the company headquarters. Big. Professional. Controlled. Adrian said no. We do it at the hospital. Where my children are. So they set up in the hospital conference room. Smaller. More intimate. Real. Luca sat in his wheelchair next to Adrian. Still weak but getting stronger every day. Sky sat on the other side. Nervous. Picking at her hospital bracelet. Miriam stood in the back, crying before it even started. 20 reporters filled the room. Cameras. Recorders. Notebooks. Adrian stepped to the microphone. Thank you all for coming. I'll keep this brief. He took a breath. 12 years ago, I made a mistake. I dated a woman I cared about deeply. Then I married someone else before I knew that woman was pregnant. Camera flashes exploded. Adrian continued. That woman is Miriam Santos. She worked in my home for 3 years. She brought her daughter, Sky, with her sometimes. And I never knew. I never knew Sky was mine. More flashes. Reporters shouting questions. Adrian held up his hand. Please. Let me finish. The room quieted. 3 weeks ago, I found out the truth. DNA tests confirmed it. Sky is my biological daughter. He looked at her. And I'm ashamed that it took me this long to see what was right in front of me. Sky's eyes filled with tears. Last week, my son Luca was poisoned. By my wife. By someone we all trusted. He almost died. Adrian's voice cracked. And Sky, this 12-year-old girl who barely knew us, donated her kidney to save his life. Reporters gasped. Whispered to each other. She saved my son. Her brother. Without hesitation. Without asking for anything in return. Adrian wiped his eyes. That's the kind of person she is. That's the kind of daughter I'm proud to have. He gestured for Sky to stand. She did, slowly. Nervous. Small. This is Sky Vance. My daughter. Luca's sister. And from today forward, the world will know her name. A reporter stood up. Mr. Vance, what happens to your ex-wife? Evelyn is facing charges. She's receiving medical treatment for mental illness. The courts will decide her fate. Will Luca visit her? Adrian looked at his son. Luca took the microphone. His voice was weak but clear. She's my mom. I don't forgive her yet. Maybe I never will. But she's sick. She needs help. And I hope she gets it. Another reporter. Sky, how do you feel about all this? Sky looked terrified. Adrian squeezed her shoulder. It's okay. You don't have to answer if. I'm happy, Sky said quietly. I always wanted a family. Now I have one. What about your mother? How does she feel? Miriam stepped forward. I'm grateful. Mr. Vance has been more than generous. He's giving Sky opportunities one never could. And I'm thankful. Are you and Mr. Vance together? No, Miriam said firmly. This isn't about romance. This is about giving a child the father she deserves. Final question. Mr. Vance, your company is worth billions. Does this mean Sky inherits half? Adrian smiled. Sky and Luca will both inherit. Equally. They're both my children. Both my heirs. The room erupted. Questions flying. Cameras flashing. Voices overlapping. Adrian stepped away from the microphone. Took Sky's hand. Took Luca's hand. We're done here, he told his PR team. Take them back to their rooms. Security cleared the reporters out. Adrian, Luca, and Sky sat alone in the empty conference room. That was intense, Luca said. That was terrifying, Sky added. Adrian laughed. Tired but real. Welcome to being a Vance. It only gets crazier from here. Great, Sky muttered. But we're together, Luca said. That's what matters. Adrian pulled them both close. Careful of their stitches and IVs and healing wounds. Together, he repeated. Outside the hospital, reporters were already filing their stories. By 1 p.m., every news site had the headline. Billionaire Adrian Vance reveals secret daughter. By 2 p.m., the story was trending worldwide. By 3 p.m., Sky's face was everywhere. The hidden daughter. The kidney donor. The girl who saved her brother. Some comments were cruel. Gold digger family. Scandal. Homewrecker's daughter. But most were kind. Supportive. Inspired. That little girl is a hero. True family isn't blood, it's sacrifice. She gave her kidney to save a brother she barely knew. That's love. In her cell, Evelyn saw the news on the small TV they'd given her. She watched Adrian present Sky to the world. Watched Luca smile at his sister. Watched the family she'd tried to destroy become stronger than ever. And for the first time, Evelyn felt something other than anger. Pride. Strange. Twisted. Unwanted. But pride nonetheless. That little girl she'd hated was saving her son. Being the bigger person. Showing mercy Evelyn never deserved. I was so wrong, Evelyn whispered to the empty cell. About everything. 6 months later. The mansion looked different now. Brighter. Warmer. Alive. Sky's laughter echoed through the halls as she chased Luca down the stairs. He was fully recovered now. Strong. Healthy. Happy. Careful. Miriam called from the kitchen. No running. You both just had surgery. That was 6 months ago, Mama. Sky shouted back. Still. Adrian smiled from his office doorway. Watching his children play. Actually play. Like normal kids. Miriam worked in the house still. But not as a maid anymore. As family. She had her own room. A real salary. Respect. Mr. Vance, dinner's ready, she said, walking past. Miriam, I told you. Call me Adrian. She smiled. Old habits. They gathered in the dining room. Not the formal one where Evelyn used to host parties. The smaller one. The family one. Luca and Sky sat next to each other, arguing about homework. I'm telling you, the answer is 42. That's the meaning of life, not the math problem. Same thing. Adrian laughed. Miriam shook her head. Normal. This was normal. After dinner, Adrian made an announcement. I have something to show you. All of you. Outside. They followed him to the garden. To the spot where the old fig tree used to stand. The one that had died years ago. Now, a new tree stood there. Young. Green. Strong. And carved into a stone at its base were two names. Sky and Luca. I planted it last month, Adrian said. A fresh start. For all of us. Sky touched the carving. Traced the letters of her name next to her brother's. It's perfect, she whispered. Luca put his arm around her shoulders. We're perfect. No, we're not. We're a mess. A perfect mess. They stood there as the sun set. Family. Flawed. Healing. Real. Far away, in a different facility now, Evelyn sat in a therapy session. How are you feeling today? Her therapist asked. Better. Clearer. Evelyn looked at her hands. I got another letter from Luca. That's the third one this month. I know. Evelyn's voice was soft. He's trying. Even after everything, he's trying. Are you going to write back? Not yet. I don't think I'm ready. I don't think he's ready for me to be ready. The therapist nodded. That's mature of you. I'm learning. Evelyn pulled out Sky's letter. The first one. The one she kept with her always. This girl, she taught me something. What's that? That mercy isn't weakness. It's the hardest kind of strength. Back at the mansion, bedtime came. Adrian tucked Sky into her new room. Not the guest room anymore. Her room. Decorated the way she wanted. Posters. Books. Photos of her and Luca. Dad? She still said it carefully. Like the word might break. Yeah. Do you think Mrs. Vance will ever come home? Adrian sat on the edge of her bed. I don't know. Maybe someday. When she's better. When we're ready. Would that be okay? With you? Would it be okay with you? Sky thought about it. I think everyone deserves a second chance. Even people who hurt us. Adrian kissed her forehead. You're wiser than all of us. I get that from Mama. And your stubbornness? That's all you, Dad. He laughed. Turned off the light. Started to leave. Dad? Yeah. I'm glad you're my father. Even if it took 12 years to figure out. Adrian's throat tightened. I'm glad you're my daughter. Even if I was too blind to see it. He closed the door softly. Walked down the hall to Luca's room. His son was already half asleep. Love you, Dad, Luca mumbled. Love you too, son. Adrian went to his own room. Sat on the bed. Looked at the photo on his nightstand. The one from the hospital. Him, Luca, and Sky. Smiling. Healing. Together. His phone buzzed. A message from his lawyer. Evelyn's sentence finalized. 15 years. Eligible for parole in 7 with good behavior. Thought you should know. Adrian stared at the message. 15 years. Luca would be 31. Sky would be 27. By then, maybe they'd all be ready. Maybe Evelyn would be better. Maybe forgiveness would be possible. Or maybe not. Either way, they'd face it together. As a family. The house settled into silence. Peaceful. Safe. Full of second chances. Outside, the new tree swayed in the breeze. Small now, but growing stronger every day. Just like the family that planted it. Some wounds don't heal completely. Some scars stay forever. But sometimes, the people the world steps on are the ones who rise the highest. Sometimes, the broken pieces create the most beautiful mosaics. And sometimes, family isn't about blood. It's about who stays when everything falls apart. Who fights when it's easier to run. Who forgives when it's impossible to forget? The Vance family wasn't perfect. But they were real. And that was enough.